Hello, we're back. We've got the front tire from a Kawasaki Voyager. So pretty chunky, stiff touring tire, a 130/90/16. It's got a few miles on it and it's ready to be swapped out. So we're going to put this on the Rabaconda, show you how that works, and we're going to crack the bead and remove that. So the first step is to mount the wheel through the spindle. Make sure that these pads under here are clear of your brake disc. They're going to sit on the rim, but for now, because we haven't cracked it yet, they're still on the tire, but that's going to change. Now in the middle of our spindle, we've got this adapter for the different sizes of bore. And what you want to do is put that in there, come underneath, give that a little bit of a pull up till it falls into the right size. That's not going to move. Last step is our breaker bar. And as I said, the production ones will be coming with the plastic cover to protect the rim. So in our case, we just need to be very careful to keep back. Full disclosure, I've already adjusted the length of this to sit in close. But what you need to do that is just release this quick release here and slide this bar up and down to orient yourself in close to that rim. So I'm going to turn this a little bit so I'm not starting right over top of the valve. I don't think this one has a tire pressure sensor, but we'll go to the side just to be safe. And I'm just going to lean on this here a bit. Give it a shove, and there it goes. Bead is broken. Get it around. Push. And we're off on one side. Pretty easy. Had to put a bit of pressure on there, but it wasn't too excessive. Not bad at all. So I'm going to slide my pin off, or my clip off there. Let's spin it around to the other side. Put our center piece back in there, our spacer. Get it locked in. And we're going to repeat the same exercise here. Give it a good shove. First one takes a bit of force on this heavier tire. Once it breaks though, it's pretty easy. And that's how we break the bead. Okay, now we're going to remove the tire from the wheel. I'm going to start with putting our deck head onto the center of here. And notice with this screw you can adjust your depth there. So what we want to do is push that rubber in, get it in the right spot on the rim. And according to Tonu at Rabaconda, you want to start this around the 6 o'clock position and have your valve stem kind of off to the side so that you're not interfering with it and potentially damaging it. So one of the big tricks is to make sure that you're getting the tire into that center well, so that it gives it room to move. So then we take our tire iron, use pretty much any tire iron for this as long as it's long enough. We're going to hook that. There's a nice little notch cut out in here in the duck head for it to sit. And we're going to pull it up onto the duck head and lock it under the bracket that's here to hold it in place. Bring that around. Make sure that we're sitting down in here. Now, the next step is to put the pin through. But because this is a 16-inch wheel with a thick depth, and this doesn't actually line up with any of our holes. So we can't use that for this particular wheel. But the folks at Rabaconda have already taken that into account and given us a strap. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the strap, we're going to run it in around one of these cast spokes here. We're going to hook it under the leg of this and feed it back through itself. and give it a pull snug so that our wheel can't turn. We're going to feed our breaker bar / ratchet head into here, and you'll see that it is ready to start cranking. You don't have to push all that hard, actually. Oops. Bar fell out, but I don't think that's going to be an issue here. And we got the first side off. So, again, for a first attempt at using this thing straight out of the box, never practiced with it or anything, surprisingly easy, which is very exciting here. We're going to get the other side into that well. We're going to repeat our putting that under. Bring that around. Put our ratchet in there. Give it a pull. Come in the well. There it goes. Voila, one tire off. All right, we're going to continue on with the mounting of this new Michelin Commander 3 Touring, which, as you can see, is a very stiff tire. So this is kind of a trial by fire for our first install test. So far, pretty happy with the performance of this Rabaconda, and with some of the updates that are coming for the production versions. I think it'll be even nicer. So we're going to start with a fairly liberal amount of our tire lube, of whatever is to your liking. Using this Tire Slick water-based stuff. I'm going to put a fair amount on there so it doesn't dry up before we have a chance to finish our work. You can always wipe it off easy enough. I know a lot of people will do this with a brush, which would probably be a heck of a lot cleaner, and that might be for my next video. We're going to other side here. Some good coating on there. There we go. Nice healthy coat around there. It shouldn't dry up too fast. Use the old mechanics rag from church. And so we want to make sure our orientation is correct with our arrows on the tire here, and we know that with the rim orientation, this is going to roll forward that way. So we're going to sit it like that. Put this set on here. Start to push it on a bit. And then we're going to put our duck head back on now. Actually, I just did that a little wrong, so it should come from, actually, no, I can't rotate it. It's not in place. We just come in from this way, because our duck head is going to the top. So that's going to go back on. Here, why don't I do this? I'm probably messing this up, showing myself for the amateur that I am. And, but I'm going to bring this back in. Drop it back down onto the rim. Now on that 12 o'clock position. Now we can get that in place here. So what I'm going to do is get some of this mold. I'm sure this will get easier with practice, but for now I'm kind of showing what happens when an amateur does this. Nothing good, obviously. Put our bar up here. What we need to do with this guy is that in, that out, and get ourselves started there. As we start to come around. There's our first one. I'm sure I made it look as awkward as humanly possible, but as you can see, it really wasn't all that hard to do, which was fantastic. Very happy about that. So let's keep going with our video. So we're going to bring this around, do the same thing, get our ourselves set with this pushed inside. And I think what's going to happen here is we might need to help this along a little bit. Put in there. There we go. Get that over top of our duck head. Give ourselves a little bit more lube here. Probably just next time start with the inside first and then lube the outside because it's already starting to dry out on us. Some on there. Bring this guy up. I'm going to take this and just give that a little bit of help to get it started, like that. And like so. We have a tire on the rim. All right, we're going to wrap up our video here of the first trial run of the Rabaconda Street Tire Changer, and just show collapsing it down and packing it back up again. Show what that process looks like. So we'll take our tire off, set it to the side. After re-inflating and seating the bead, I'm just gonna grab this here and undo it, but you do notice that there is a cutout in the top for a wrench to tighten that up if you can't get it to come loose. It seemed to work fine just doing it, a good solid hand tight. Throw that there. And take our magnets off, which are incredibly strong apparently. There we go. Throw those back in the bags. That's the Teflon. Now we're going to loosen that. Drop it. To loosen that and take that out. We're going to loosen that. Drop that in. Take it back up. Like that, just to protect it out of the way. Now, the interesting thing here, I just need to decipher it, is there's actually instructions here on how to pack this all away. But might have to play with that a little bit to figure out what that actually means. But just looking at this here, not the blanket is going to fit across there. Yes, it does. So that sits right in like that. This guy can sit right in here somehow. I'm going to play with this and figure out how to do this properly because obviously I'm butchering it. But we'll put our bar in there. That's sitting down. Find a way to seat our duck head in there at the bottom and get it protected a bit. Or pieces into there. Bars into the middle so they don't bounce around. Breaker in. And put your carpet in. Oh, right. I guess we could probably even put our mat in there, but for the purpose of the video, I will deal with that later. Close it up. And for storage and transport. Worked great, and again, this was the first attempt at this from scratch. I've never done it before. All in 10 to 15 minutes to remove and seat a tire. I'm sure I would get faster at it with practice. And yeah, this was my first test of the Rabaconda tester program, and seemed to go pretty well. Very happy with it. Solid product, and I'm sure the upgrades are going to make it even better. And yeah, so far I would highly recommend this. They're not cheap, but it's a quality product, and if you do any amount of tire changes, it's worth it. Thanks.